Silken tofu. It's like an egg custard tofu, but it's done in the tube, you know. So what we're going to do is we're going to slice it and just fry it off, get a lovely crispy texture. For me, the ultimate kind of Asian salad is basically cucumber, carrots, red onions, and some coriander, you know, and some spring onions. It's just beautiful, very simple, but it just hits all the notes as well. So we're going to throw a small bit of rice vermicelli in there as well, just to give it a bit of a grain texture, you know. So silken tofu, basically more Japanese. You can use like kind of regular tofu as well, but I particularly like this one because it has a lovely kind of custard cake kind of texture to it, you know. First thing we're going to do is rehydrate the noodles with just a bit of boiling water from a kettle. Now just work that in there and let it sit for maybe 5 or 10 minutes, and you see it start to, you know, come apart there. And whenever it starts to separate, just leave that aside and just forget about it for about 10 or 15 minutes, and that'll be perfect later on when we come back to it. So we're gonna make this lovely salad and just get a lovely freshness in this. So I love making salads just with a peeler, and with this salad we're gonna just chop it up a small bit, you know. So we're gonna get lovely ribbons of the cucumber. Try not to use some of the seeds. When you get down to the seeds, it's just pure water, you know. I say the cucumber is maybe 90% water, you know, and the rest of it is all kind of, well, that's why it's so kind of refreshing, you know. So I'm gonna keep some of that aside, and this is all we need. I'm gonna shave some of the carrots as well. And this would give it this lovely crunch, you know, and a bit of sweetness when you're kind of eating fruit. So I kind of tend to do it on the board here, so you kind of know the equal amounts of the ingredients going in, you know. So asparagus in there as well, which is beautiful. Very nice for a summer. And when it comes down in a bit like that there, just bake it off and just throw that in there as well. And you have a lovely crunch onto that then. Now that's enough there. So we're gonna put this into the bowl here. Take the ribbons up. Don't have to be very particular, and I like kind of rolling them up and, you know, slicing them. So you have this lovely thin kind of julienne, you know, and it doesn't have to be particular, you know. Once it's like that there, it's fine, it's lovely. And same with the cucumber as well. So what I do is kind of roll them up like this and just give it a couple of chopped fruit. So they retain that kind of ribbon, but not very fat, you know. So you kind of dig that fruit there, give it a mix. Add in a small bit of coriander, one of the 3 holy grails. I'm always cooking with coriander. So, but if you don't have coriander, use flat leaf parsley, or if you like chervil or tarragon as well. Tarragon would be lovely in this. Tarragon goes really well with kind of like an eggy kind of dishes, and it'd be lovely with the tofu as well. So small bit of chili. I'm not going to go right down to the bottom with the seeds, because that's where the heat is. So I just want kind of like a little tingle, and just the color as well is beautiful. So just add it in there, and just add in a bit of ginger, some garlic as well. So in there. And believe me, this is one of the Asian salads that is absolutely beautiful, so refreshing. I remember when my grandmother used to make this for me at the start, and it was just like, it was one of these flavors that just sticks to me for the rest of my life, you know, because it's so refreshing, and it's just beautiful, you know. And then I'm gonna add in 1 or 2 spring onions as well. I'm gonna just slice this on the slant. So get all your preparation done before for the salad, and because the tofu itself doesn't take very long. We're going to make a nice little dressing for the salad now. So first of all, I'm going to start off with some sesame oil, but you want a kind of like a toasted one, you know. And I'm going to add a small bit of rice wine vinegar, and also a small bit of the soy sauce in there as well. And I'm just going to kind of whisk that up around. It's very simple, isn't it? I'm going to add in a small drop of lime juice as well, just to give it a lovely freshness. Just going to squeeze a small bit of juice in there, so not too much. Just a small bit. Just gonna mix that around, and this when you start adding limes in it, you know what I mean. This kind of has a kind of like a Thai kind of feel to it as well, you know. So really nice, fresh kind of flavor. Keep that at the side there. But at the moment, we're going to have a look at the noodles that we kind of soaked up earlier. So, and this is kind of just rehydrated, and what we're going to do is we're going to take it out. We're going to refresh it in kind of cold water, and then after that, we're going to chop it up, and then we're going to put it in our salad as well. So I know that I have egg kind of tofu there, but you can use normal tofu if you want to make this into like a totally vegan kind of dish, you know. I'm not going to put in, you know, fish sauce, but if you like fish sauce, you can put some fish sauce in here as well, you know. We're just going to just mix this around a small bit, and you can see the lovely kind of textures and the colors going through there, and it's beautiful, you know. I'd say I'm using chopsticks here, but you know, if you're at home, you can use a spoon and a fork, you know, and just mix it in. Just if you can use chopsticks, this is a good way of using it. So, and this, you can see this one's a particularly long one, you know, so this is a cooking one. So I'm just have the dressing at the side and then have the salads ready, and before I finish later on, whenever the tofu's there, I'm going to mix them all together. We're going to start off in our tofu now. You can see there's just a bit like custardy kind of flavor texture, and you can see the way it's kind of coming out in a tube like this, a bit like a creme brulee. So I'm going to cut it into coins and kind of like a 3mm, and okay. And so I'm going to just throw it into my potato flour. So you can use corn flour if you can't use potato flour. I think the potato starch has a more of a lovely flavour and texture to it, you know, when you're frying off bits and pieces. Just see the way it's breaking apart there. So you need to be very careful because it's so delicate, you know. So I'm just going to finish off this. And then after that, we're going to coat it and we're going to deep fry it in just a bit of vegetable oil at 160 degrees. And the Japanese particularly like this dish, and they serve it with a dashi, which is just stock, you know. It could be a bone broth with seaweed or with miso. And then they serve that as a little starter, you know. So I have all the coins, as you can see there. You can use your hand as well. I'm going to use the chopsticks. You know, you want to coat them, and this will protect the batter as well when you're frying it off, and give it kind of like a lowly golden texture as well. So most of that potato starch will fry off into the oil anyway, but this will kind of give it a kind of like a protection on it. So I'm just gonna get ready to fry this. I like frying in the wok. If you have a fryer at home, like, put it on about 165 degrees, 170 degrees. I don't like using kind of rapeseed oil in this. I think not peanut oil or vegetable oil, you know, will be good for this. And the way to test this is I have a kind of aluminium heat. Whenever your chopstick starts to bubble, that's when I know that's 165 degrees. I kind of keep the heat on the medium as well, because you have to understand if you're working with a wok, frying the wok, once you've thrown ingredients in, it's like putting a steak on the pan. The temperature starts to go down, and you want to keep frying, you know. So see that there, lovely slow frying there. But I'm going to turn it up a small bit, just to keep that temperature up high when I'm throwing in about a load of them. You see them frying off. It's not aggressively frying, you're gently frying with the oil. I'm going to let that fry slowly, and then after that I'm going to take this out, and it should be lovely and crispy on the outside, and that's what we're going to serve the salad with. So I'm going to keep this on the medium heat. I don't want to kind of touch it, but if they're kind of sticking together, you want to just give it a little separation, and you see it start getting the golden brown there. I'm going to turn them around, and this is exactly what we want. They're starting to crisp up now. Whenever we bite into this, you get this lovely soft custard kind of texture inside. It's probably one of the nicest tofu dishes that I like eating anyway. So normally whenever they start to kind of float up, that means the inside of it is hot and they're ready to come out. I'm going to take it out and just drain it. I'm going to turn off the heat there. I'm going to put a bit of molten sea salt on this. I'm going to also throw in a bit of toasted sesame seeds on this, small bit. Put in the dressing into your salad. I'm going to mix this around a small bit. You can do this in the family serving as well, like any Asian cooking, you know. Family serving is very popular. So I'm going to put all the coins at the side here. And what you can do with this dish as well, you can serve a dip with this off the dressing. So this is my lovely crispy silken tofu with a lovely fresh Asian salad.